Hi, this is Sandy, and I'm here for the hashtag Christmas All Year 2026, hosted by Lori at Enchanted Dream 7166. And I've been trying to work through some of my Christmas scraps and collections and use some of them up. And so I love the idea of making Christmas cards all year so that when I get to Christmas, I'm not feeling rushed to make some things. I'll already have some things and I can just pull them out. So this is the first card I'm sharing, and I had seen somewhere, and I don't remember where, but where you use scraps to make the three boxes and stack them on top of each other. And then I used some dazzles that I had to make it look like this was tied on there, ribbon tied on there, and then ribbon across this direction. And then I have a die that die cuts out this bow and a strip that I used to put a bow on that package. And then I just used some ephemera that I had from one of the collections to decorate it. And then on the inside, I used some more ephemera, Cozy Days and Holiday Memories. And then I thought this was cute to use on there because it shows different packages. So that was the inside of that card. And then on this card, I use strips. I have a hard time throwing things away. And so I used some different strips I had to make the background. And then use this ephemera piece. And then I took some little dazzles. And it had the red berries on there. But this way, you get some shiny gold around the edges of the red. And so I just thought it really made those berries pop on here. And then for the inside, I just matted another ephemera piece that said Merry Christmas. And that's the inside of my card. For this card, I used another cut apart and backed it on some red paper. And then for the background, used this green plaid. And then I used some more of those little dazzles for the berries on this card. And then some larger dazzles just to give some bling on the card. And on the inside, I put an ephemera piece that said Happiest of Holidays. On this card, Joanne from Crafty Grandma had sent me this oval that she had die cut out. And so then I found this cut apart that had the tree on it. And so I just fussy cut around it and made it so it looks like it's got some snow on the bottom. Fussy cut around it. Fussy cut around the holly jolly and put that on there, and found this little round circle ephemera piece. And then I put some bling onto the tree for the ornaments that were on there. And then for the background, just a strip of stripe paper that was in a Christmas pack. Backed it on some red paper and then onto the white card base. And then I had made this Merry Christmas earlier, die cut it out with the back on it, the outline on it. And so I thought this was a great card to use that Merry Christmas on. And then on the inside, I stamped, wishing you a season of joy as we remember the night when love came down to earth and became our song of celebration. And then I just took this cut apart and put in there for an image. This is another card that I made. And this one was using scraps, and so it's got a strip that comes down this side and a strip that comes down this side, and then two other rectangles for the corners. And then I took this cut apart, and it was actually in like a rectangle, and I fussy cut around it, and then I fussy cut a base around it to back it on, and backed that, all of it, onto this red cardstock and then onto the white card base. And put some more dazzles on this one for the berries again. Kind of shine if you can get them in the light, right? And then again, I stamped on a white piece of cardstock and then backed it onto a red piece of cardstock. Wishing you a season of joy as we remember the night when love came down to earth and became our song of celebration. That's that card. And then this is the last one I'm sharing for today. And this was one, I loved this paper that showed all these little stamps all over the background. And so I cut that down, backed it on a piece of red cardstock and then on my white card base. And then I took this cut apart that I had, backed it on some of the red cardstock, and I foam taped that up a little bit so that it just stood off the card a little bit. But it's not too bulky to mail. And it says Merry Christmas to all. And then on the inside, I once again stamped the stamp that I had, wishing you a season of joy, and then backed it on some green paper and put that on the inside of my card. So those are the Christmas cards that I'm sharing today for the hashtag Christmas All Year 2026, hosted by Lori at Enchanted Dreams 7166. Thank you, Lori. This is a great way to work on my Christmas cards all year. So thank you. Thank you for watching my channel.